Yo, what up, my dudes? In today's video, I want to go over a couple of different things, okay? The topics today are going to be a bit of the TWAB. I'm going to go over what I think are the major key points for transitioning between now and December, and for what I think is going to happen when Witch Queen drops. Now, the second thing I wanted to cover today is some of the lesser-known stuff that Bungie has been doing when it comes down to their transgender awareness, as well as Black Lives Matter, as well as what's going on with the disability and accessibility options. So, if you guys got a few minutes to listen to me rant on here a little bit, pull up a chair, grab a coffee, and here we go. Alright, so, first thing I wanted to cover with you guys, the TWAB. I know you've all probably seen all the videos by now. You have definitely at least read a little bit about it. It's an ability tuning TWAB. What they're trying to do, I believe, is build in a bit more balance into the Crucible. Now, Bungie has a habit of bringing everything full circle. That's not a bad thing. It gives us adaptability, it gives us change, and it does keep things interesting. I personally believe that abilities are too strong. I don't think I should ever be able to get 3 or even 4 supers in a single match, like Bottom Tree Golden Gun. And if I happen to play really, really well, that snowballs everything. So, in my opinion, this is greatly needed. It will actually allow us to use weaponry, such as primary, which now has the advantage of giving you more super energy every time you get a primary weapon kill. Secondary is more like a backup option, and then your heavy only if you've earned the heavy by fighting for it. So I think that's awesome. The ability should be used as either an intro or an outro, right? Meaning you get into the engagement by using a super, I'm sorry, not a super, by using an ability, or you escape. So you actually have to tune around your ability use, meaning you actually have to set your guy up for it if that's your playstyle, or you have to figure out whether or not you want to play somebody aggressively or defensively. I think this is going to open up a ton of strategic options, as well as keeping the gameplay around gunplay versus around ability central and focus. I think this was the TWAB that we needed. This is the changes that we've needed for a long time. I really enjoy the fact that they have separated sandboxes between PvE and PvP. Because in PvE, yeah, dude, I want to feel like a badass throwing ice grenades and being all crazy. But in PvP, I do feel like there's a little bit more necessity for it to be more balanced. Weapons should feel like they can compete at their given range, you know? So pulse rifles, for example, when someone gets close and closes the gap, you should feel as if you're at some kind of disadvantage against an SMG. But if you're challenging that pulse rifle in an SMG range, yeah, you should also feel like you're at a disadvantage until you close the gap. There should be some strategy that's involved. You guys will actually get the opportunity to learn what a real competitive balanced shooter might look like here. For example, somebody holding the anchor point with a pulse rifle while 2 people push forward with sidearms and SMGs. You know, if you do it properly, you could really wreak some havoc on the opposite team. And if they want to counter you properly, they could really wreak some havoc on you by how they set up their defensive ability capabilities. I think it's going to be really, really cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what it actually feels like to play it. I'm also planning for there being a bit of criticism, I use keyword here, criticism, and griping in the Destiny community because that seems to be what they do really, really well. Anyway, let's move it along. Alright. Something that has been mentioned but not necessarily covered. Bungie Transgender Awareness. I understand why there might be some hesitation to cover this topic. I don't agree with hesitation when it covers things like awareness, okay? I think more people need to be talking about this, and I'm a little bit upset, if you want to call it anything, maybe disappointed, that more of the major name YouTubers haven't said anything about it. What I look for when it comes down to how a company handles awareness, I'm looking for where they actually put their money. I'm looking if they follow through, because anybody can politicize an issue by saying they agree or disagree. I don't care about what your agreements and your opinions are. What I care about is your actions. I want to see you follow through on the thing that you're advertising and marketing to the community with. Bungie did this great big thing about being trans at Bungie, okay? They put something up that I fully agree with, okay? This is something that I've looked into. I've researched it on, on the internet, if you whatever. But I've researched it, all right? I've looked up where their money is actually going. Now, till the event of it, the month of it, the awareness month is actually over, and they actually donate their profits, we don't know what's really going on, okay? We'd have to see, like, tax returns or something, I guess. But what I do know is that they have made the claim that all profits are going towards the It's called the Transgender Awareness Hotline, I believe. It is a suicide prevention hotline as well as kind of a guidance counselor hotline for people that identify as transgender awareness or identify as transgender. I'm sorry, I didn't say the words correctly, but you understand what I mean. If you guys are for or against this, that really is up to you. But I'll tell you what I've learned. In my family, I have a member of my family who we call Uncle Diane. Now, I know that may sound a little funny. Uncle Diane was born a man, and her entire life, she felt like she was off. She felt like she was in the wrong body. This person, Uncle Diane, grew up as a man and was playing the part of man. You know, so she thought that men were a certain thing, so she acted as a man, thinking this is how men were supposed to act, but never felt as if that was who she really was. So she underwent the procedure to become a woman, to become Diane. We love Uncle Diane with all the possible respect that we could for somebody that's undergone this transition. It is incredibly challenging to explain this from their point of view, because I don't understand it in the same sense that they do. You know, I don't have this issue. I'm a typical dude that's, you know, married to a woman. I've never had to deal with these things before, you know, on my own behalf. So what I can tell you is that this person absolutely felt as if they are female and they happen to be in a male, you know, body, so to speak. Okay, I mean, to me, I don't know, but I trust that that is what they're going through. And I think we need to give more trust to people that are going through these types of, I don't know what to call it. I want to say feelings, but it's not a feeling. It's deeper than that. So Bungie is giving all profits from their Transgender Awareness month. And anytime that you buy one of those pins that they're selling, they're giving all profits from the sale of those pins to the Transgender Awareness, the hotline that's going on. And I'll put a link so that you guys can see. Now, if Bungie wants to go one step further, in my opinion, they could actually include transgender individuals on their executive team. So their executive team is what it is. I'm sure they all got there because they're incredibly talented, but that would be the next step, in my opinion, including more gender and, you know, more diversity on their executive level team. So that's my take on it. I definitely feel as if they're doing an amazing job, especially since they are donating all their profits, okay? Because a lot of these places, like, for example, March of Dimes, you know, they donate 10%. Makes sense, right? March of Dimes. Then the other 90% goes where? So if I give them $1, they're keeping 90 cents? Awesome. Glad my money's going somewhere good, right? Anyway, I'm not too frustrated about that, I guess, but so moving right along. The last thing is Bungie's accessibility options, right? They're talking about putting mods in the game that will allow hand cannons and pulse rifles and scout rifles to be fired in full auto fashion. I think that's amazing. I think that's the right step forward for people if they're trying to be more and more inclusive. In Bungie's own value statement, they talk about the player experience. It's why they go so far out of their way to change things up like trials, to change things up like skill-based matchmaking, you know, all the other things that they're doing. It's incredibly hard for them to balance everything around player experience with PvP, which is why I'm happy that they're separating the two. It is an incredible challenge for someone to play me versus someone that's just new to the game and they don't have, let's say, a bunch of tech and a bunch of gear. Skill-based matchmaking helps them with the player experience, okay? And I think that's a good thing for them to include with their accessibility options when you have a lot of people, especially in my channel and my Discord, that are former veterans that have motor control disabilities. They have tremors in their hands when they play for long terms. Me, myself, I have arthritis in my knuckles, so when I play for long terms, my hand shakes and gets really, really painful. That's why we use things like Cronus. That's why I've even looked for these things in the first place, and I found a niche of people that are being helped by this. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Not sure what else to say here, but it seems like things are going really well with these opinion pieces, and I'll keep them coming, and I'll start trying to cover the stuff that nobody else seems to want to cover, because maybe they feel as if they can't talk about something that's polarizing. I think we need to talk more about it, but that's just me. Alright guys, thank you so much for your time today. Remember to keep it zen. I'll see you in the next one.